Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Gold Coast Property Auction and Sales Results. The week that we'll be covering this week will be Monday, June the 7th until Sunday, June the 13th. Just firstly, like we do every week, I'd like to go through some of the Queensland's auction results. So there were 275 scheduled auctions for Queensland, of which 137 went ahead. Of the 137 that went ahead, 96 were sold at auction, providing Queensland with a clearance rate of 75%. So there was 275 scheduled, 136 went ahead. So there was approximately 130 properties that were either the auctions were postponed, or probably what more happened, or what was more the case, was the fact that these properties were sold prior to the auction even going ahead. It does happen a bit up here in Queensland, where a lot of the owners do like to maybe potentially sell prior to auction. So let's, before we go through some things today, look, I've tried to always keep these episodes under 15 minutes. Today we might go a little bit longer. There was a lot of activity on the weekend and just some really extraordinary prices. And I'd love to explain it to you so you can just really see what is actually happening here on the Gold Coast. So look, when we go through these results, some of the results that we're going through are results that maybe the property was sold 30, 60 or 90 days ago and the settlement is happening now or happened in the last week. The other properties that we go through are properties that were auctioned over the weekend. And the reason why I'm saying this is because in the last 2 to 3 months, Queensland, not only Queensland, but Australia has seen a real property boom. There's a lot of people up here on the Gold Coast saying that for the month of May, there was a 3% increase and the same for the month of March. So about 6%, and then add in April there, maybe 8% of growth. There's some properties that we'll go through today that are well and above that are showing 30, 40% growth in this short time frame. So again, not all properties are the same. But this market here is really going, 100 mile an hour, and it's something that we just need to. I'd like to show you and explain it all to you. So first things first, let's share the screen, and let's just have a look at the results, auction results for Australia. So as you can see, Victoria, New South Wales and South Australia, ACT, there's been some phenomenal clearance rates, something that hasn't been seen for quite some time. So we're definitely in an Australia-wide property boom at the moment. Obviously, some properties go up more than others, but we're just seeing some really good results all around Australia. If you have a look at Victoria, they had the long weekend and the public holiday, so maybe there was a few less scheduled auctions for that weekend. And they had about 1,400, just over 1,400 properties sold. New South Wales had about 2,000 properties sold, and Queensland had about 1,500. So for this week, with sales volume, Queensland actually was second in Australia. So every week I like to start off with a lower price bracket. I always like to look at more so homes and houses with a bit of a land component, and even for that matter, duplexes, because there is a land component. So let's start off. And like I said, there's a lot of properties to get through. I'll try and get through them as quick as I can, but just bear with me as much as we can. So the first one that we'd like to look at is this one here. And this one here was sold. This is 11 Sutton Court in Parkwood. It's just a normal 4-bed, 2-bath, double garage home. It's on 677 square meters. It's quite a clean home, pretty ready to move into. This property over the weekend sold at $660,000. The next one that we'd like to look at is this one here at 32 Carter Street in Pacific Pines. It's on a smaller block than the other one. As you can see, it's a 3-story home. It's 5-bed, 2-bath with a double garage. So quite a big home, got some great views, really well maintained inside. And this home here sold for $750,000. The next one that we're going to move on to is this one here at 15 Jacaranda Avenue in Hollywel. It's an older style weatherboard home, 3-bed, 2-bath, accommodation for 4 cars, has been updated on the inside. It's got nice floorboards. And again, a nice area, nice home to move into, close to the Broadwater, and this sold for $680,000. The next one that we'd like to look at is this one here at 44 Warringen Way in Ashmore. 3-bed, 1-bath home. This home here on a large block of land, 780 square metres, still very original, so does need some updating. This home sold for $626,000. The next home we're going to look at is this one here. This one here is also in Parkwood, so like the other one that I showed you at the start, it is a 4-bed, 2-bath double garage, so same format as the one at 11 Sutton. It's a little bit bigger land than the one in Sutton. This is on 749 square metres. This was auctioned on Tuesday, so last Tuesday this was auctioned. This is at 41 Arnold Palmer Drive in Parkwood, and this one sold for $735,000. The other home in Parkwood, that would have sold private sale and may have sold a month or so ago, or 2 months. So as you can see, the prices are still escalating. The next one that I'd like to move on to is this one here. This is Pimpama. It's a little bit further out. So it's probably half an hour drive down to the beaches. This is 184 Dixon Drive, a 4-bed, 2-bath, double garage home, 469 square metres, this home. And this home sold for really good price at $495,000. The last home that I'd like to look at for us, or it's a more than one home. So I just wanted to, maybe this was out there for the investors, still very good price point. This was number 1 and 2, sorry, units 1 and 2 / 32 Girton Circuit in Pimpama. Here was 8 beds, 4 bathrooms, and 4-car accommodation. So what you can see here, it was 2 units, so 2 4-bedroom houses, let's say, on a corner block. Quite new homes, very well maintained in a really up-and-coming area. Not a problem to rent these homes. And these 2 homes, 4-bed, 2-bath, 2-car, double garage, on a corner block of 786 square metres, sold for $880,000. So $440 each. The rental income on these homes would be upwards of $550 per week. So really good investment for someone. So we're going to move on now. So that's the lower price range. And now we're going to move closer to the coast, and we're going to have a look at the northern area first. So the first one that I'd like to look at is this one here in Sanctuary Cove. I don't think we've showed much of Sanctuary Cove, but this one here was at 8003 The Parkway in Sanctuary Cove. It's a 4-bed, 4-bath, lovely home. And I think it's got a swimming pool. You're on the water. You've got your little private pontoon. And I think the really big and selling factor of this home is downstairs in the basement, which you've got 6-car accommodation with a turntable to house your collection of cars. This home sold for $1.755 million. The next one that we're going to look at is a home here at 16 Muscovey Avenue in Paradise Point. Older style home, 3-bed, 1-bath with a single garage. Again, does need some updating, and the person who will come and buy this probably will do a renovation. They might want to render the brick and so on. This home sold $890,000, so some really good buying there. We're going to move on now, and we're going to stay in Paradise Point, and we're just going to look at a duplex. So this home's on half a block of land. This home here was a 3-bed, 2-bath, double garage, duplex home, sold for $970,000, walking distance to the Broadwater. And again, when you're buying a duplex, it's pretty much ready to move into, a lot newer than an older style home. And again, smaller block of land, but something that's going to really retain its value. The next one that we're going to move on is just a little bit down the road at Runaway Bay. This is a waterfront home. This was number 10, the Yardum in Runaway Bay, 853 square metres, 4-bed, 3-bath, really wide water frontage. As you can see in the picture towards the back there, you've got your Southport and Surfers Paradise. You've got the broad water to the front. So you've got great canal access over here. And this home with a swimming pool on the water sold for 1.4 million. The next one that we're going to look at, and the last one that we're going to look at for the Northern Gold Coast, is this home here back up at Paradise Point. This is another waterfront home, so similar to the one in Runaway Bay. The land size a little bit smaller, 716 square meters. It is 4-bed, 3-bathroom, has its own pontoon, lovely water views, lovely brick home, double story. And this home here at Paradise Point sold for 2.36 million. So now we're going to move on to the Middle Gold Coast. And the first one that I'd like to show you is this one here in Broadbeach. Again, it's another waterfront home. This is at 9 Bermuda Street in Broadbeach. This is probably one of the, for Broadbeach, this would probably be the lower end price-wise for waterfront. Bermuda Street is a street that does carry a little bit of traffic, so hence the 1.48 million sale price. It's still a very good sale price, but again, what we've seen happen in Broadbeach as of late is waterfront homes have gone up more and more. 4-bed, 2-bath, double garage on 800 square meters, and that sold 1.48 million. Moving along, we're going to move down a little bit south to, are we moving south? Yeah, we're going to move south down to Mermaid Beach. This home in Mermaid Beach is at 68 Seagull Avenue. It's on 405 square meters. So most of the properties on the beach side of the Gold Coast Highway, if it's a full block of land, they were usually around that 400 square metre or a 405 block. If you're coming on the other side of the highway, they were normally about a 500 square metre block. This home, Mermaid Beach, lovely home, 3-bed, 2-bath with accommodation for 3 cars. As you can see from that picture there, you're 2 streets away from the ocean. So, you know, superb location. And again, the home is well maintained, well looked after. It's renovated, it's got a lovely kitchen, bathrooms, ready to move into, and this sold for 2.3 million. We're going to stay in Mermaid Beach. So that was a home on a full-size block of land, and now we're going to look at a duplex in Mermaid Beach. So we've got this one over here, and we've got this one at 34A Dudley Street. It's 4 beds, so it's got an extra bedroom than the house that I just showed you. 3-bath with 3-car accommodation. Really nice inside, architecturally designed. And this home over the weekend, this home settled over the weekend and sold for 1.52 million. So this was a fantastic home in a really good location. Again, you're not getting a full block of land, but sometimes when you live that close to the beach, you don't need it. Moving along now, we're going to move on to this home is, again, this is Isle of the Capri. So this is just out the back of Surfers Paradise. It's a lovely island. It's got a lot of large homes, not many units on this island. It's bridged on both sides, so a bridge in from Surfers and a bridge out to the back at Bundle. This is quite new. It's got a pool at the back. It's in a lovely block. It's on via Roma, which is the main street going through the Isle of Capri. And this townhouse duplex sold over the weekend. And this one sold, let me just get the figures on this one. This one sold for 1.4 million. So again, duplex is newer than a house, and they're pretty much pulling, they're still pulling a little bit less than a house price, but for someone wanting to get into the property market without having to do too much work to a property, a new duplex or a new townhouse is the way to go. Okay, moving along, we're going to have a look at this one. This was an auction property. This property sold over the weekend. This is at 14 Sarah Avenue, Broadbeach Waters. This home had a 50-metre frontage to the water. This home sold for a really good price over the weekend, and a lot of homes in this area are starting to really increase in value, especially for boaties. The bridge from the Isle of Capri has just been raised by 1 metre, which is now allowing for some bigger boats. So people that could not come into Broadbeach previously because they had a boat, now they can start to buy in Broadbeach because that bridge has been raised and they can have a larger boat in this area. This home over the weekend sold $1.9 million. Brick home, large block of land. I think the block size was about 1,200, just over 1,200 square meters. So really good buying and land value, waterfront value. Great buying for this home. Okay, so now we're going to leave the middle Gold Coast and we're going to move to the south. And there was quite a lot of activity in the south. So this one we're going to have a look at is at number 10 Gura Avenue in Burleigh Heads. Not on water, reasonably close to the beach, a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, double garage home. It was on 600 square meters. Has been updated, but potentially the new owners of this will probably go through a full renovation on this home. And this home in Burleigh Heads, not waterfront, sold for $1.9 million. So pull in some really strong money in Burleigh Heads at the moment. So we're going to move along, and the next one that we're going to look at, let me find it, is this one. Again, this was an auction property. I attended this auction on Saturday. This is a townhouse. This townhouse was at number 2/5 Fernie Fairway in Burleigh Heads. 3-bed, 2-bath, double garage. It was 231 square meters, so I think about 24 squares thereabouts, so quite a large property. As you can see, this street going through here is the Gold Coast Highway. So again, by the time you cross the Gold Coast Highway, you're a street away from the ocean. You've got Burleigh shops just down to the right, and again, a really good area. This duplex over the weekend sold at $1,281,000. So again, similar price point to the Isle of Capri duplex, but again, quite a substantial amount lower than what a full block of land with a house is going for at the moment in Burleigh. Okay, let's move along to the next one when I find it, which is, let's have a look. I think it's this one here. Yes, it is. So we're going to move on to number 8, Brake Street, Burleigh Heads. Again, so we can see this home here is another full block of land. Again, it's on a 405 square meter block. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath with a 4-car accommodation home. And as you can see from this picture, again, you're not too far from the Gold Coast Highway and not too far from James Street and the shops in Burleigh Heads. So really good spot. This home sold with a swimming pool. It's been updated. It's a really nice home. It's got water views, ocean views, and this sold for a whopping $2.4 million. So again, some of these suburbs, when you're trying to purchase a house now and close to the water, the prices have really started to escalate. Okay, moving a bit further south, we're going to move down to Palm Beach. We're going to have a look at this one. This one's at 13 Galapagos Drive in Palm Beach. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 4-car accommodation home. It is on water, so you are on water here, which is lovely. And as you can see, the floor plan, it's quite a large home. It's got garage and carport to the front. This home sold for $2.1 million in Palm Beach. Let's move along. Staying in Palm Beach, we're going to move to 78 19th Avenue, Palm Beach. We've got a 872 square meter block, so quite a large block with a swimming pool. It's single level. It's 4-bed, 2-bath with 2-car accommodation. And this home, it has been updated. This home sold $1.26 million. So as you can see, the Gold Coast has started to really increase in price, not only in the north, not only in the middle, but also the south. It's happening everywhere on the Gold Coast. And now we like to look at property where it has a ripple effect. So obviously the houses closer to the water are really going up the most. And then now that's starting to push out into the suburbs. They're not making any more land, and the land is becoming more and more scarce on the coast. Anyone who does purchase, they may be knocking that house down and putting 2 duplexes, or your apartment developers are coming and putting apartments. So I don't see prices dropping close to the water in the near future. The last thing I'd like to look at, and I did start this last week, but we started to look at some land. So I just want to show some land content for anyone who's interested. This one here was in a place called Wongawallan. It's 1334 Tambourine Oxenford Road. This property was 3 hectares, or more than 3 hectares. Sorry, it's 30,000 square meters of land. This property sold at $420,000. Another one that we're going to look at, this is in a place called Mount Nathan. So this is northern Gold Coast. It's not too far. It's probably a 30 to 40-minute drive to the coast in Mount Nathan. This property was on 3,000 square meters with a pool, large home. So anyone that's wanting that extra space, this sold for $1,125,125. Last couple that we're going to look at for today is, am I going to go to that one first if I can find it? I think it's here, is, yeah, we can have a look at this one. So this is a property at 1079 Gold Coast Highway in Palm Beach. You may have heard this report on the news. This property is a 549 square metre block on the Gold Coast Highway, and it backs on to Jefferson Lane. Jefferson Lane is a really tightly held street in Palm Beach and really has some really good pricing in the past. This property was sold in March of this year for $1.4 million. And the reason why I'm bringing up the previous sale price is just to show you how things and the prices have really started to jump on the Gold Coast. Sold 3 months ago for $1.4 million, sold over the weekend at auction, Melbourne buyer, $2.4 million. So there was $1 million of upside in 30 days. There was nothing built on the property. There were no permits. There was no DA approval on the property. The property was held for 3 months and resold. So you can see that prices near the water for land, people are paying a lot now. And it's just something that, you know, the Gold Coast has been waiting for this boom to happen, and now it's here. And the last one we're going to look at, again, for the developers out there, this was a property that sold in Miami. This was 3 blocks of land, so quite a large block of land. 19, 21, and 23 Hythe Street, Miami. Again, this will be turned into an apartment complex. The height limit, I'm not entirely sure of the height limit here, but they can go over 3 stories. This was sold over the weekend for $6.1 million. So some really interesting things at the moment, times happening on the Gold Coast. It's a great time for anyone who's held a property for a long time. If they're interested in selling, I've never seen a better market. So look, for another week of the Gold Coast Property Report, I hope you're starting to understand the values here and what's happening. If anyone's got any questions for me, please don't hesitate to send me a message or an email or give me a call, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Good luck with your property hunting. Until next week, take care. Goodbye.